Greetings from the Alliance for Family Engagement, and welcome to our recorded webinar from All Pro Dads. My name is Michelle Roberge, and I'm the District Volunteer Coordinator for Pinellas County Schools and a member of the Region 4 Alliance for Family Engagement. I'm so excited to be hosting this session with presenters from All Pro Dad, Keith Vickery and Christian Spolar. Keith Vickery is a native of Florida, and past experiences are the director of the USF Wellesley Foundation, HR management and business sales with Apple Retail, and now 4 years with the Family First, focused on the All Pro Dad program. Christian originally hails from Chicago, Illinois, and has a broad array of experience from a paramedic, a sales leader at a large shipping firm, and now an All Pro Dad member. I'm going to hand it off to both Keith and Christian, so take it away.
What does a child want most from their dad? The latest video game? A new smartphone? Not at all. What they really want is more time with you. And to children, time equals love. At All Pro Dad, we give you the one-on-one time you need to build your relationship with your child and the tools to become the best father you can be. Maybe you had a dad or role model to lead you, to inspire you, to be there for you as you were growing up. Maybe you didn't. Either way, we're here to help show the way forward. It starts with bringing your child to school once a month for a morning breakfast with other dads, mentors, and their kids. You'll share in fun activities, build memories, and learn about meaningful topics like forgiveness, leadership, humility, and purpose using our character-based curriculum. You'll be focused on each other, and as a result, your relationship will grow deeper. By becoming part of a local All Pro Dad chapter, you will get access to all that All Pro Dad has to offer, plus exclusive content just for team captains and members. You'll be welcomed and encouraged by a community of other dads. You'll help your school. You'll strengthen your community. And best of all, your child will get what they want most: your time and your love. Tens of thousands of fathers and their children from across the nation are benefiting from involvement with a local All Pro Dad chapter. We hope you'll join us at an existing chapter or start one of your own. It just might change your family forever.
So hello, everyone, and thank you, Michelle and Sheila, for that wonderful and warm introduction. My name is Keith Vickery. I'm with Family First, which is the parent company for the All Pro Dad program. And we're excited to be with you today to share with you about this amazing program that was put together by Family First over 20 years ago. So All Pro Dad actually started as the brainchild of Mark Merrill, the president of Family First, and NFL Hall of Fame coach Tony Dungy when he was in the Tampa Bay area serving as the coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Coach used to walk with his defensive line coach around the fields, and they would talk about the impact that their fathers had on their life, as well as the kind of fathers that they wanted to be and how well they were doing. And they realized that they wanted to make an impact because they saw the positives and the challenges that their players were dealing with, whether they had fathers or father figures or not. And so as they did that, they partnered with Mark Merrill. The story goes that the Buccaneers were having practice, and they would invite the general public to come to practice. And typically they'd have about 80 dads. But when they partnered with Mark Merrill to have a dad-friendly event where dads and kids could come together and watch practice and have a couple extra experiences out of there, they thought, well, maybe we'll get 200, and if we hit 200, that'll be a fantastic thing. Well, come that day where they did their first All Pro Dad event, they had 4,000 show up. And they realized that they'd made an impact, and they'd also touched on a nerve, that there was a hunger out there for dads to discover more about how to be a dad, how to get engaged with their family, and to get connected with their kids. And that's where the All Pro Dad program was launched. Shortly thereafter was born the All Pro Dad chapter program, which you probably have heard about or experienced in a school near you in the state of Florida. which is our truly our chief state as far as number of chapters go. So we're very excited about our relationship with Florida. And of course, we're here for the same purpose that you are, is how do we get dads engaged? How do we get families engaged with strength? And specifically, why we need dads to love well. Now, these are things that we kind of intuitively know, but the data is there as well about the importance of having a dad. When there's not a dad inside of a child's life, there are some challenges that arise. Oftentimes, when there's not a dad or a male figure involved, they're more likely to increase in truancy, and so they end up falling out of the school program, the education system. And because of that, because of a lack of education, oftentimes they're 54% more likely to actually be poorer than the previous generation. So you get consistent decreases from generation to generation and move towards segmented poverty. Along with that, for young ladies that are in families that don't have a or father figure to give that added value and encouragement and identity, unfortunately, young ladies are 7 times more likely to become pregnant as teens. And of course, all of these challenges lead down towards the road of incarceration, trying to use other methods and resources, outside our society to reach their wants and goals. And so it would be a pretty depressing moment if we stopped here, right? The great thing that we know is that when dads get engaged in the lives of their kids, a whole new world opens up for this child. Initially and definitely written out in the information that we have on truancy statistics. When dads get involved, kids are more consistently involved in school. And because of that, they get better grades, right? Who knew, right? You stay in school, it's amazing how much better you get at being in school and getting educated. They get focused on their dreams. They get focused on their ability to do new things and to learn new things, and they start discovering things about themselves. They get excited about it, and they get focused on their goals and their future. And so because of that, they start staying away from the behavioral challenges and getting in trouble. One of the amazing things that happens in the midst of all this is they actually develop some increased time management skills. Now, as Michelle mentioned, in past work, I actually worked for Apple on the HR side. And so I was a hiring manager. And what we often look for in hiring for arguably one of the best companies out there, was a great sense of time management. Can people manage themselves and manage the work that they need to do in the time that it takes to get it done? Because as a manager, I don't want to hire somebody that can't manage their time and effectively complete their job. If I hire that person, then I'm actually going to be hiring for myself a second job, right? Because I've got to manage me and I've got to manage that person. So in that case, having improved time management means that kids can extend their reach out into the job market. They can hold jobs and higher paying jobs as well, and it proves for success in their life. So very important piece there.
Huge. Oh yeah, that's a great observation, Keith. I've especially learned how time management affects my family and managing my kids through the Play of the Day article that I read through All Pro Dad. And speaking of the Play of the Day, All Pro Dad encourages dads to commit to 1 minute a day through our Play of the Day daily email, 1 hour a month through our All Pro Dad chapter program, and 1 day a year through our All Pro Dad experiences at NCAA and NFL stadiums and practice facilities. Typically in a given year, especially here in Florida, we're very fortunate to facilitate at least one of these stadium events. And going into the Play of the Day, let's take a look at what that looks like. It takes longer to drink a cup of coffee than it takes to read the Play of the Day article. You get so much valuable information from these articles, especially on marriage, life, and parenting. And like I shared, time management skills was one thing I learned from the articles. And a lot of times these articles will bullet point out major advice and in top 5 and top 10s. What does an All Pro Dad chapter experience look like? A monthly breakfast event where dads enjoy food with their kids and sharing meaningful conversations. It serves as a great way for dads and families to connect with school leaders. And in some chapters, dads get to walk their kids to class, really setting their day up for success. Let's look at what a chapter meeting looks like. Typically, our program is school-based, and in the current climate, it's a little difficult, which is why we developed in the spring a virtual option, giving you the same experience in the comfort of your own home. In fact, you may have more family engagement because you're flexible with times versus having it early before school. So typically, it starts with breakfast. The chapter meeting starts with dads and kids getting breakfast, and then they share in what we call the pride exercise. During the pride exercise, this is where the magic happens. This is where dads get to introduce themselves and their kids and share why they love them and why they are proud of their kids that month. It's a powerful moment, as many children don't receive this type of affirmation in a given year, much less a given month. I know I had the privilege of, and I'll share real quick, I had the privilege of taking my oldest son, Kai, he's 7, he's about to be 8, to our first chapter meeting, and it was incredible. Ever since I got to share with him, I got to see the real results of what it looks like to constantly affirm my son and tell him how proud I am. You know, after the pride exercise, we have character-based curriculum, and you usually get 10 per year. This year we have 2 bonus curriculums, and every monthly topic has an in-person and a virtual leader's guide. With the character-based curriculum, you get a video, there's discussion questions and activities. The discussion questions are awesome. It really helps to bring conversation into families' lives. And it goes past the simple, you know, dad's asking, how was your day? And the kids saying, oh, it was fine, it was okay. This really engages them, saying, you know, dads ask this question, and then they wait. And then kids ask this question. And then it just really refines the conversation and they can bring it home. Then the last part of the chapter meeting is the bring it home. We encourage dads and families to become members of their chapter. Members of the chapter get their own login page, which is full of resources and a way to extend this experience to their home.
Absolutely. And Christian, thank you for that overview. And as we're talking family engagement, obviously the core piece that we want to figure out is what's the benefit, right? We put a lot of energy in connecting with parents. We put a lot of energy in extending the expansion of the school day and the school program and the great healthy environment that schools create into the lives of families. And that's where the chapter engages best. It increases that community. It touches the group that oftentimes schools have the hardest time reaching, you know, where a dad may be in the picture or maybe just even as close as a car line, right? But they don't want to cross that threshold. And All Pro Dad chapter actually develops a threshold inside of a school of welcome, where dads can feel comfortable. They feel great connecting to other dads. They start to realize that they can be the hero to their kids that they've always wanted to be. And they start to discover that, oh my gosh, I like my kids. And then they look over and I like your kids, and hey, I like you. What else can we do? And you start getting ready volunteers to be a part of what your school is doing and helping inside the school community. On top of that, and Christian highlighted this just a little bit with the Bring It Home, is we encourage people to become members of their chapter. There's no extra cost to it. The chapter is only $50 a year, and there's no extra cost on the membership side. But when they become members, they actually get their own login and they get their own landing page. And on that landing page, for every one of the curriculum pieces that are there, which you can use at any time, depending on what the school might be focused on. But for every one of those curriculum experiences that they've had, there is a sheet called the Take It Home experience. And the Take It Home has everything from how to extend that experience out, how to use, as Christian mentioned, how to, it has specific discussion questions, one for each month. And then on top of that, it's got a great book resource that was cleared by the Department of Education in Florida because of our great relationship with them. And for our age groups between 1st and 6th grade, there's actually recommended titles where dads can engage their kids in reading. So I happen to be connected to one of the regional directors for Uber in Hillsborough County. And he mentioned to me, he said, Keith, you know, I have 4 daughters, and my family didn't read to me when I was growing up, so I had no idea. But when I was at the chapter, they talked about the Father Time Reading Challenge. And so we tried it out. We took a couple of the books and I read to at least each of my daughters for 15 minutes once a week. And I've got to tell you, it has changed our family. We've got great time engaging. We read fun stories together. They enjoy reading and start to enjoy the process of reading as well as reading with me, and I get to read to them. And it's become really a transformational experience, if you will, for our family. So thank you so much for that. So we were really excited because when you can marry those two together, the importance of reading from an educational standpoint and the health of the family, that's a win-win all the way around. So our members have that ability and those resources to engage, and they also get to connect to All Pro Dad and all the rich tools that are at Family First for being dad. But don't take our word for it. These are some of the things that we've actually heard from team captains and principals from across the United States. We have over 1,100 chapters and growing, and now we're in Canada, we're in London, so we're in England, and hopefully we're opening up in Australia soon. And what we find is that the impacts are consistent because the needs are consistent out there for making a difference through dads. We've got our superintendents that have shared with us over and over again that as they expand this program out and they take ownership of this program throughout their school district, it makes a consistent impact in schools, whether they're high income, low income, great neighborhoods, challenging neighborhoods, doesn't matter. It's that engagement of the dad or the male figure, because it could be grandpa, it could be a cousin, older brother, it could be folks from the community, retired police officers, could be firefighters that are off duty. So many different ways to connect with dads and encourage and put great male role models as part of that. Our longstanding relationship with Hillsborough County really is marked by the comment that former superintendent of schools, Jeff Akins, made about the far-reaching impact that dads have on a family life. And so we're so thankful for that relationship, and we're going to continue with our new superintendent and well on into the future. So Christian, this sounds exciting, right? This sounds amazing. So the question is for everybody is, where do you go from here? How do you get this thing started?
Yeah, starting a chapter is super easy. It just takes connecting with your school principal, registering online, which takes less than 5 minutes, and we provide full support for this simple but effective turnkey program. We also have free training for team captains and co-leaders so they feel comfortable running their chapter either virtually or in person. Next is scheduling that first meeting, and the dads will show. Consistency is key with dads. Now, I oversee the support and development of Florida, and I would love to hear from you. Please feel free to reach out anytime, as I'd love to answer your questions and help you get started engaging dads and families through the All Pro Dad Chapter Program. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Keith and Christian. That was a great workshop on how to engage dads and male role models into our children's lives. I also want to thank Sheila Kane, who is our Family Engagement Coordinator for Pinellas County Schools, and helping set up this recording. Please feel free to share this recording with any interested coworker or community member. And finally, please don't forget to check the Alliance for Family Engagement website at www.allianceforfamilyengagement.com. And please follow us on our social media, Facebook, Twitter accounts. Just look for Family Engagement 1. All right, thank you so much.